Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be doing a quick tutorial on how to create some netting using a cloth simulation and the Tissue Tools add-on for Blender 2.9. So I add in a sphere and a plane to start with, and we're just going to scale that up and add in some loop cuts. This is to give the cloth simulation some data to work with, so we get that done, and then we just go ahead and we add in some firstly I start by adding a reflective material. This is probably a bit of a waste of time for this tutorial, but I set it to a mid-grey and a reflective tone. And this is a force of habit that I do just so that I can see where lighting is coming from, and I can make the right kind of edits to lighting position and what HDRI map I'm using and stuff to make things look right. Reflective materials are good, so I start by adding a cloth simulation to the plane and a collision to the sphere, but it's not working out right. So I add in another subdivision, and then after setting the smooth in a second, we can see that it's still not quite right. We have some self-intersections there, so we use the cloth simulator attribute enable self collisions there, so that when we resimulate now it won't intersect itself, and that's much better. So now we need to go ahead and apply this modifier and give it something to tessellate. So yeah, if you haven't yet, you're going to want to enable the Tissue Tools modifier, and that's what's going to allow us to tessellate per faces onto a mesh. So I start by adding in a plane here, giving it some loop cuts, and then beveling those out just to create one tile that we're going to be mapping to our mesh here. So you'll see what's happening in a second. So I click that, and so I click my tile and then I shift click on my mesh. Now after using N to pull up the side panel and getting to our Tissue Tools modifier, and then we just hit tessellate, and then we're going to want to merge it and set it smooth. And then once that's done, we're going to just want to go ahead and add in a modifier to give it some depth, which is the solidify modifier. And then we're going to want to add in a subdivision surface too. That's just going to give it some depth and make it really nice and net-like for us. I go ahead and I move my initial simulation object to a different layer now. Layers are now called collections from some time ago. But yeah, so I move that over, and yeah, if you want to get more fancy, you can use this if you save your cloth simulation with shape keys. Then you could do two meshes, and you could parent one to the other to create a pinning group, so that you could animate this method of creating a net. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.